Before the world stirs, before the noise of life drowns out your thoughts, there exists a sacred hour. The hour when the stars fade and the first whisper of sunlight touches the sky. This is the hour of clarity. This is the hour of power. And those who master it, master themselves. Waking up at 5 a.m. is not just about time, it's about reclaiming control. It's about winning the day before it even begins. If you've ever felt trapped in a cycle of distraction and chaos, what you're about to hear could be the shift that changes everything. In the next 20 minutes, you will discover exactly how early rising shapes the mind, transforms habits, and builds the unstoppable discipline needed to create the life you've always wanted. This is not theory. These are timeless principles followed by the most successful leaders, thinkers, and creators in history. Before we dive in, I want to make sure you never miss the knowledge that could transform your future. So take a moment right now, click subscribe, tap that like button, and share this with someone you know is ready to level up. Drop a comment below and tell me if you've ever tried waking up before dawn and how it made you feel. Your story could inspire someone else to begin their journey today. In this video, you will see why 5 a.m. is the perfect launchpad for mental clarity, creativity, and unshakable focus. We will break down the science of why your brain works differently at this hour, the psychology behind discipline, and the exact steps to make this habit stick. By the end, you will have a blueprint to own your mornings and, in turn, own your life. Imagine standing at the edge of a still lake just before sunrise. The air is crisp, the water unmoving, and the world is silent except for the soft rhythm of your own breathing. In this moment, you feel something rare: peace. No notifications, no demands, no distractions. Just you, your thoughts, and an open canvas to paint the day ahead. This is what waking up at 5 a.m. offers. It's not just an early start, it's a head start. While most of the world still sleeps, you are already setting your direction. You are training your mind to take command before outside the forces try to pull you away from your purpose. The most successful figures in history understood this. From Benjamin Franklin to modern-day CEOs, the pattern is the same. Early mornings are when plans are made, books are written, companies are built, and lives are transformed. The stillness allows for deeper thinking. The lack of noise gives space for clarity, and the discipline it takes to rise early builds the exact muscle you need to push through challenges in every area of life. But there's something even more powerful happening here: a quiet victory over your own impulses. When you rise before you have to, you send a clear message to yourself: I am in control. You train your mind to work for you, not against you. And that self-control carries into every decision you make during the day. In the coming moments, you will see how this small shift in your schedule has a ripple effect on your productivity, confidence, and mental strength. You'll learn why the first hours of the day hold the key to breaking bad habits, creating lasting ones, and building a life that feels intentional instead of accidental. There is a deep biological reason why those first hours of the day are so powerful. When the body wakes before sunrise, cortisol, the hormone that helps regulate alertness and focus, naturally rises in a controlled, healthy way. This is not the spike that comes from stress, but the steady, energizing rise that primes the brain for clear thinking. At the same time, dopamine, the neurotransmitter linked to motivation, is more responsive in the early hours. The brain is rested, free from the noise of the day, and ready to attach reward to the work you do. This means even small wins in the morning feel more satisfying, making it easier to build momentum. Research also shows that the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making and discipline, is at its peak performance in the morning. As the day goes on, mental fatigue sets in, willpower declines, and distractions multiply. By tackling your most important tasks before the world wakes up, you are making decisions with a fresh, sharp mind instead of a tired one. There's also the psychological benefit of separation. Waking early creates a clear boundary between your goals and the demands of others. When you use this time for personal growth, learning, reflection, or strategic planning, you anchor your day in a sense of purpose. No matter what chaos follows, you have already secured a win. It's not about forcing productivity every single second. It's about using those quiet hours to align yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally, so the rest of the day flows from a place of strength rather than reaction. The transition to a 5 a.m. wake-up is not a single leap. It is a gradual alignment of body and mind, built on discipline and preparation. The mistake most people make is trying to shift their wake-up time overnight, only to face exhaustion and give up within days. The real key is in incremental change. First, set a target bedtime that ensures at least 7 hours of sleep. If you currently sleep at midnight, begin by pulling it back by just 15 minutes every few nights. This small adjustment prevents shock to your system and makes the habit sustainable. Second, create a shutdown ritual an hour before bed. Dim the lights, silence devices, and avoid stimulation. This signals the brain that it is time to rest, making it easier to fall asleep without tossing and turning. Many achievers use this hour for reading, journaling, or light stretching to relax both mind and body. Third, design your morning in advance. Before you go to bed, know exactly what you will do after waking. Have your clothes laid out, your workspace ready, and your first task chosen. The less thinking you need to do at 5 a.m., the more likely you are to move into action instead of drifting back to sleep. Fourth, leverage movement and hydration immediately upon waking. A glass of water rehydrates the body after hours of rest, while light exercise or stretching signals to the nervous system that it's time to be alert. This combination removes the grogginess that tempts people back under the covers. Fifth, assign purpose to your mornings. If the only goal is to wake early, boredom will win. Attach this time to something deeply meaningful, building a skill, planning a business, deep study, or focused creative work. The brain is far more willing to sacrifice comfort when there is a clear reward. Finally, track your progress. Whether it's a journal entry, a calendar mark, or a habit tracking app, visually seeing your streak builds momentum. Every early morning becomes proof of discipline, strengthening the belief that you are in control of your time and destiny. The 5 a.m. habit is not truly about the clock. It is about identity. When someone decides to rise before the world stirs, they are making a silent declaration to themselves. My goals matter more than my comfort. This single shift in self-image is what separates those who dabble from those who transform. The first mental shift is seeing time as a limited, sacred currency. At 5 a.m., there are no distractions, no demands, and no noise. The world has not yet begun to pull at your attention. This is a rare window where you are in full control. And once you start valuing these hours as the most precious of the day, protecting them becomes instinctive. The second mental shift is replacing motivation with identity-based discipline. People who succeed with the 5 a.m. habit do not rely on feeling like getting up. They wake up because they see themselves as someone who wakes up early. It becomes as natural as brushing teeth, an unshakable part of who they are. The third shift is embracing discomfort as the price of growth. The first few weeks will test willpower. The bed will feel warmer than your ambition. But every time you push through, you're not just getting up earlier. You're building the mental muscle that will serve you in every area of life. The fourth shift is linking the habit to a bigger purpose. Waking at 5 a.m. just to scroll through a phone is meaningless. But waking at 5 a.m. to write the book you've dreamed of, to learn a skill that will change your career, or to build the body you've always wanted that has weight, that pulls you out of bed with conviction. The fifth shift is removing the story of "I'm not a morning person." This label is a trap. It's not that some people are born to wake early and others are not. It's that some decide to control their environment, their sleep schedule, and their mindset, and others don't. The final shift is understanding that consistency beats perfection. Missing a day is not failure. Letting it break the chain is progress. Compounds not from occasional bursts of effort, but from steady, disciplined repetition. Every 5 a.m. wake-up is a vote for the person you want to become. When these shifts take root, waking early is no longer a struggle. It becomes part of your nature, a quiet strength that shapes the rest of your life. The clock is simply the tool. The real transformation is in the mind. There is a certain power in theory, but nothing hits harder than seeing the results in real lives. These are not abstract concepts. These are real people who decided that their mornings were too valuable to waste. One story begins with a man working a demanding corporate job, constantly complaining that there was never enough time to work on his passion for painting. His evenings were filled with fatigue, Netflix, and unproductive scrolling. One day, he committed to waking up at 5 a.m. The first week was brutal. His brush felt heavy in his hand. But by the second month, he had created more art than in the previous 2 years combined. Today, his paintings sell online, and his mornings are untouchable, a sanctuary for creation before the noise of the day begins. Then there's the story of a woman struggling to lose weight. For nearly a decade, every attempt at the gym failed because she tried to squeeze it in after work when her energy was drained. She decided to try something radical: 5 a.m. workouts. At first, the cold air and quiet streets made her doubt her choice. But soon, the rhythm set in. She started her day with energy. Her discipline grew, and within a year, she lost 85 pounds. More than the physical transformation, she gained a deep sense of control over her life. A young entrepreneur provides another example. He wanted to launch his own business, but kept saying there was no time outside of his 9-to-5 job. The 5 a.m. rule became his secret weapon. For 2 hours each morning, while the world slept, he built his online store, studied marketing, and contacted suppliers. In 14 months, his side hustle replaced his corporate salary, and he walked away from the job that once trapped him. Even parents, overwhelmed with responsibilities, have found the 5 a.m. habit life-changing. One father used that quiet time to finally write the children's book he had promised his daughter. He worked on it 30 minutes a day before she woke up for school. A year later, the book was published, a legacy born from stolen hours at dawn. These stories prove something vital. The 5 a.m. habit is not about being naturally gifted. or having endless motivation. It is about claiming the hours no one else can take from you and using them with fierce intention. Success becomes less about luck and more about choice. The choice is now in your hands. Every single word you have heard today points to one simple truth: time is not coming back. The hours you waste will never return, and the life you dream of will not build itself while you sleep in. The difference between those who live with regret and those who live with pride is often just an alarm clock set a little earlier. Waking up at 5 a.m. is not simply about beating the sunrise. It is about beating the excuses. It is about silencing the voice that says, "I'll start tomorrow." It is about stepping into the quiet hours when the world is still and saying, "This time is mine." In those hours, there are no phone calls, no interruptions, no distractions, only you and the work that will shape your destiny. Think about what could happen if you gave yourself even 90 extra minutes a day. In a year, that's over 500 hours, enough time to learn a new skill, build a business, write a book, get in the best shape of your life, or completely redesign your future. But none of it happens if you keep waiting for the perfect moment. There is no perfect moment. There is only now. Every great achievement you admire began with a decision, the decision to take the first step before everything felt ready. And that is what 5 a.m. offers you: the first step, taken before the world wakes up, repeated every single day until the impossible becomes inevitable. If there is one thing to take away from this message, it's this: you are not behind. You are not too late. You are one decision away from a completely different life. But you must be willing to act. You must be willing to trade a little comfort for an ocean of opportunity. So when you go to bed tonight, set your alarm earlier. Prepare your space. Prepare your mind and make a promise to yourself that you will keep. Wake up before the rest of the world tomorrow. And in that stillness, take ownership of your life. And before you go, take a moment to join this journey fully. Subscribe to this channel so these powerful messages keep reaching you every day. Like this video if it stirred something in you. Leave a comment sharing what you will do with your first 5 a.m. morning. Your words might inspire someone else to start. And share this video with someone who needs that push, because you never know whose life might change from a simple decision to wake up early. This is your wake-up call. The day is waiting for you. The life you want is waiting for you. All you have to do is wake up and claim it.